now started recording. Not that it matters, because we're not streaming.
All right.
We can
In
still
that
put it on our
case-
YouTube page.
We can still post it.
With the
W-
cool new
w-
map.
We should put it on YouTube because then I can review it if at all possible.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will. Eventually. When I
Cool.
actually get around to posting this far in. I haven't even posted
Yeah.
episode 4 on YouTube yet. This is episode 7.
All right. Ow.
It does seem to already be having a noticeable difference, though, because my internet hasn't cut out
Off
yet.
to a great start.
Ow. Wow. My whole pinky is numb.
Although
Oh my
Ryan
God.
is frozen on my screen. He just has, like, he's just sitting there like, oh, it's loading. Now he's not
Oh
frozen.
God. That hurts so much. Like I was doing that. Like I can do this all day, and then I just hit like a nerve or something, and then it was just like. Anyway.
I think what I will
Welcome
say,
back, everyone.
what I will say is
Mhm.
because we are recording and not streaming, it's really easy for me to cut videos to smaller sizes when streaming, but I could find a video editing software or something, but the one that I already had on my computer before literally couldn't load a file of the size of like an 8-hour recording session. So I might just like 3 hours in at
Oh, great.
any decent stopping point just start and restart the record, or stop and restart
I mean-
the recording.
That just makes sense.
Okay. Just sharing my thoughts.
So in that case, welcome back, everyone. We are back after a break, and we will probably only be able to play a few games, but hopefully we can get in a good few before we have to leave again for forever. So last I checked, we had a battle royale, and before that, you were all in the city of Cardinfall, where you were attacked by a night hag assassin who attacked you in your dreams via a construct, and it led to the death of Quipper, your local bard / warlock. But he was resurrected with the power of a different hag named Celia Soot, who is your friend and ally. Because and only because you had still his soul trapped inside of a bag. Had that not been true, his soul would have been on to the afterlife, and there's nothing you could have done about it. I think that is about it. You return to the chair and whistle. What was that called? Just store? Shop?
We have a sticky note on it that just says Sewer Squad. But
What
it
a
was,
horrible name.
It was originally
It's
called
a
the Sounds
great
of
name.
Shame.
It's very bad.
Considering nobody else was offering up anything, I think it's fantastic. So
What about
In any case,
what about the Cardinfellers?
Cardin Fellows.
That works
Cardinfellers.
too. That works too.
Oh no.
See, my
right.
my thought process was if it's Cardinfall, we're the Cardinfellers, as in we're like felling.
Oh, I was
the
thinking like,
cardin
hey
that
there,
falls.
feller.
Or that too. Well, it's a play on words.
all of the above.
It's like a pun. That's all I got.
Uh,
Pals.
So you all wake
Pardon
up in the morning
pals.
after an extraordinarily strange dream, each finding a potion that maybe shouldn't exist in your pocket. After what was previously a pretty tragic and traumatizing night.
Wowee.
Look at that, just going to sleep, having these weird dreams, getting all these goodies.
Well, I'd say it's a good morning compared to the others. We're all here, I think. Some things are here that shouldn't be here, but at least we're
I guess I should start doing the Quipper voice again.
Guys, we need to stop having these weird dreams. Because honestly, I'm getting a migraine.
I feel like I should have watched like previous recordings just to figure out what my Quipper voice sounded like, because I almost don't remember.
Imagine a halfling.
True.
Make a new one, you know?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I could probably do it.
Nah.
I don't know. We're getting there.
Literally just Matt, a little higher pitched.
I don't know. Well, you know, we're just hanging out on this.
I feel like every time we have these dreams, my brain is taken out of my skull and it's like molded. like putty. Yeah.
That's not very fun.
No.
Well, it seems like the day is ours for the taking. We don't have any weird people in the house, and I don't
What do you
think
Make
we
an
have.
investigation check.
What are you talking about? There's like 3 weird people in this house.
You're right. Investigation 16.
There are no weird people in the house
What are you
Oh,
talking
that you
about?
didn't expect.
There's like 6 weird people in here now.
That you didn't expect.
You got Aether, you got Nyx, you got that old soldier guy over there. There's that old lady over there selling fruit out of a basket.
You wake up, you see your armor, your all your weapons and equipment, the orb of busy hands. I don't know.
I was making
You
a
guys
joke
don't
about
really
the
have anything else fancy.
scene.
I'm just gonna pick it up and idly play with it while we're just sitting here.
Still have my bone swords.
Those are always with you, and also with you. Are you trying to solve it?
Yeah, I'm just like,
Okay, make a intelligence check.
I've got a sling and a bunch of voices in my head.
ooh, that's not good. That's 8.
Oh, I'm
Real.
almost certain this will be a failure then. It was indeed.
I'm not paying enough attention to it. I'm just kind of like hitting it. Thing opens.
What would you all
So-
like to do?
I mean, it's been a little bit. You know, we were asleep for a long time. You know,
Feels like months.
yeah, right? Weird. I mean, there is spaghetti. How did they just get so much spaghetti sauce in this notebook? Let me just review my mental notes.
I mean, we could, jump in and start doing some recon, I guess, for Omar, but I don't know if there's anything else we should do first.
Shouldn't we like talk to him first and like
Yeah, that's true.
do like recon on him? Because like I feel like I don't know anything about him, and I don't want to just like shake my hand and then.
Yeah, he just kind of showed up, huh?
I feel like
Well,
that's
we have
weird.
his card somewhere.
I don't have pockets.
Okay.
Well, like a magic trick, I pull it out behind my ear. Here it is.
Alrighty. So, does the card say like where he lives?
Probably.
I think it had an office address as well. No, it did it have a phone number. I don't know if the phones exist yet. I don't know if I feel like dealing with that right now.
I remember you saying that we didn't have a phone. I don't know if that was like fantasy, we don't have a phone, or we just got robbed, we don't have a phone.
I'm gonna go with phones of some capacity exist, but their range and use are limited because a free sending spell seems like a lot. So it's like phones in the 90s where it's like really expensive and it's kind of hard to find them.
We got a
Makes sense.
telegram.
I'm
Sure.
pretty sure they had phones in the 90s.
No, they did. You're right.
Okay, I was like, I don't think they were using telegrams in the 90s.
No, I'm just saying, telegrams. No, they had like they had all kinds of phones in the 90s. I don't know if they had they had cell phones towards the end of the 90s. I know. I don't know about early in the 90s. Oh, well, they had like those big handsets. They had like real big cell phones.
I'm thinking cell phone rules, you know? Nobody has a landline. Who has a landline? Businesses have landlines.
What are you talking about? My house had a landline until I was like 12 years old.
I'm talking about in Cardinfall.
It's not my fault. Cardinfall people are stupid and don't like instant communication.
I'm gonna say it's pretty difficult to do. In any case, what would y'all like to do?
Alrighty. So, should we just stop by then and maybe ask him what he's all about? I mean, we know what he wants us to do, but we really don't know much about him.
Yeah. I feel like we could talk to him first. See what he's offering, you know? And then we can investigate him if we feel the need to. I feel like it would be beneficial just to be on the careful side.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do like a whole investigation thing, especially since we'd probably get caught, and that wouldn't be very good for business.
Oh, what are you talking about? We are like so stealthy and like
Oh, nice.
good at hiding. You know,
Just erring on the side of caution first. We can talk to him. I think it'll be fine. So, we going now? Anyone have anything they need to do, I guess?
I mean, do we need to I feel like all I have is like this shirt and like one shirt that is not stained, and then like maybe a pair of pants that don't smell like fish.
Nix, you can borrow some of my things.
I don't know if that's so. Wait, don't you only have like fancy things?
I mean, they're not fancy like expensive, but they're fancy like colorful.
Okay, we'll do that. I think if I
Nix,
think otherwise, all I have
I
makes me go over, make me look less like a gremlin.
just pull out like cute like Aether clothes, but like tie things to make them, fit. Like
Kids just smaller, yeah.
make it
Makeover for the changeling.
perfect. Okay. I guess the clothes can look like whatever you want because I don't have.
And I was just
specific
they're just
outfits.
clothes. I don't think like I don't feel like I need to be like my outfit is a Chanel dress
It has this
with a
thread.
Gucci slides.
Oh no. All right, Quipper, you good? How's that conversation going on in the corner over there?
Oh, we're just chilling. Don't worry about us.
Sorry,
Who's
my
it
mom.
this morning?
We're all good. Although my internet disconnected shortly again, and now Ryan and Karena's cameras are both like permanently frozen for me. So I like disabled and re-enabled their videos, and then it started loading forever. And now they're working again.
Yeah, we have to restart it on our end.
Having a good time.
All right, well, the early bird gets the worm, so I'm gonna open the door. Be like,
Don't ever
shall
do
we?
that again, Ryan. I heard that. That was horrendous.
Crackle pop. Is anyone gonna follow me?
Yeah, no, I'm
Nyx follows you,
I'll
at
go.
least.
I'll go. I'm coming.
Just awkwardly holding the door, like.
All right, you guys leave
So
the
I'm like,
Churn
holding the
Whistle
door.
estate. The car takes you to the Axel district.
All right.
So you have to go across town, enter the subway system. By subway, it's more of like a mass transit system that is definitely not. I guess it is still subterranean, isn't it? Because you're all subterranean, kind of. It doesn't matter. You're in the you're in the you're in the transit.
How do we become? Never mind. I don't want to say it. All right, it's too late. I already said it now. How do we become Dom-terranean, Ryan?
Oh,
That was the terrible joke that came to my mind for some reason.
that's not even like.
It's not
funny.
even funny. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
In any
and
in any
unfunny.
case, you travel through the subway system. I believe that this is going to cost all of you 5 copper. Or not?
We
Yeah,
have
5
our-
copper.
How we got
We have
the
our card.
That I believe was from the scale district to the.
Was it?
I think there's a chance that some of you got the other path, but of those people, Matt definitely wasn't one of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Matt didn't want to.
You didn't get it. I definitely wrote this down somewhere.
I wrote it down.
I know that Lizzie and I got the same one.
Well,
My notes are very minimal this campaign. It's kind of a problem. Yeah, I have no idea. Is there music playing? Because I can't hear it.
There is music, yes.
Why is it muted? Were the bottoms just
Okay. Maybe I wrote it in my old notebook and I just didn't write it in my new one. I know we had a transfer, but it probably was just to the scale district.
Yeah, we can just pay it for now.
Just fell up.
So you said
5 copper.
5?
Oh, stop. Sorry, I'm figuring out music.
We're all warming up. It's okay.
Play. Skip. Here we go.
Oh wow, I have like no money.
Well, you know a few ways to get money. Yeah,
I
you
have
did spend.
5 copper remaining.
All right. You can, by the way, you can use five silver to get a transit pass from Axel District to the Gearhold where you live, or you can spend 5 gold pieces to get free transit from anywhere in the subterranean part of the city.
Cool,
That might be
cool.
worth it at some point.
Yeah.
If any of you had 5 gold.
Oh, I have 5 gold.
Did anybody
Oh.
else
For sure.
hear Ryan?
Either are you
And-
broke?
Shield.
Krona,
What?
are you broke? Like, do you have nothing?
I have 5 copper.
I have 114 gold.
Oh my god. It's fine. We'll figure something out.
Well, yeah, because you spent a lot of money on your shield. With your brand new crafted adamantine enchanted
so
kind of
pretty.
shield. So you get in the transit system, it shoots you up about 100 feet or like probably 200 feet into the air, and then it shoots off into the metro speed rail. And as you're going across, you can see just past the almost ramshackle steel wall that is hundreds of feet tall, blocking the inside of the city from the wilds of the outside. And even there, you can see as there's massive trees blocking the sun. Since it's still the sun is still rising, you can see as the like pink is trying to bleed through some of the plant growth and some of the vines that are probably the width of your whole body that are curling down from the top of the wall. In fact, you see as people suspended by harnesses are trying to cut it off with heated torches that are probably equipped to cut through steel, but are barely making a dent in this wood. But then eventually, after probably about 10 minutes of this incredibly fast speed rail, you come to a stop, and then like a pneumatic tube drop down into a subway station in the Axial District. The Axial District is sort of like a city made out of darkened steel and concrete. It is light. It is lit up and with fluorescent light. It is in a permanent state of nighttime because it is underneath, of course, the upper part of the city. But nonetheless, the streets are always lit by the thousands of advertisements with like blaring light. It's almost hard to see, and it takes you time to adjust to the dripping moisture and the lights reflecting off of the street signs to the bottom. It's kind of ugly, but beautiful in its own right.
I'm sorry, did you say,
Well, this is different.
is it Axel or is it Axial?
It's Axel. I noticed myself saying it the last time, but I think I said it like 4 times. It's Axel.
And I did find it finally in the notes. It's a unlimited travel pass between the Scale District and Gearhold.
I thought so.
Makes sense.
For 5 gold, you can go anywhere in the subterranean part of the city. And if you were to make it platinum, you could also take that from there to the oh god, what is it called? Sanctorum District. And yeah, but that's really expensive. And getting to the Sanctorum District is notoriously difficult because you got to have money.
How much platinum would it be?
5.
I
It's
have
all
3.
increments of 5.
We're close.
You're close.
I mean, I have 114 gold. I could convert that to platinum.
You're close, and that's to get the like infinite pass where you can go back and forth all you want for a year. But you would know there are other requirements to get to the Sanctorum district. It's not just as simple as buying a pass.
Spook.
But in any case, make your way. I heard an echo.
Yeah, I think it's from Corona because she doesn't have headphones on.
I never have headphones on when play. Hold on.
But you make it to this district. You can hear as there's occasional cars going by in the street, but for the most part, it is just a mass transit systems that take you throughout the city and cost extra money. But you can also just walk on the sidewalks. I should also note that it's very rare for somebody to have a personal transportation system in Cardinfall, especially in the bottom parts. Usually, it's just mass transit systems.
Yo, it is very bright here.
Very bright and very dark somehow at the same time.
It's unique. I enjoy it. So, is he going to have one of these big signs, you think? Is that his style? Just like
Make a real quick investigation check to just intelligence check to see if you can navigate through the city.
I'm rolling great today. 7.
Oh boy. Man, did I not anticipate that. Hold up. Y'all can, as you're wandering through the streets, you can talk amongst yourself. Somehow I asked for a roll that I wasn't anticipating. But talk amongst yourself while you're trying to navigate the streets while I get something.
There's a lot of lights here. All of the streets look the same. Anyone got any ideas? If you were Omar, where would you live?
Isn't he a... Wait.
He's
I'll be honest.
Isn't he
I don't remember who Omar is. Isn't he the senator?
He's a senator.
He probably
he's
lives...
running for senator.
He probably
He's
lives...
running for senator.
Oh, he's
Oh,
running.
okay. Oh, excuse me.
He's not quite a senator yet. He seems like a pretty fancy guy. White button up and a teal coat. I remember that. We could probably just ask for directions.
Maybe.
Based on, I probably am not familiar with it. I don't know if I'm familiar with this district, but would I have a general idea based on the address on the card where to find him?
I would like for you, so you kind of weren't paying attention and let Aether lead the way, even though you have
Oh, I'm
spent
sorry.
time in the Axel district. You've
My
like,
mom was talking to me.
you're fine. So yeah, you've spent time in the Axel district. You've oh, look at that. That is something I haven't known for so long. But yeah, you've spent time in the Axel district. You know people here. You've been around town, because you've dealt drugs here. So you could probably figure it out. So I would like for you to make a survival or investigation check at advantage,
You said survival or investigation?
whichever suits your fancy. I just said investigation because that was
I definitely think
probably better
survival
for
is
Aether.
going to be. No, survival is definitely better. Investigation's an intelligence roll.
That is correct.
That's correct. At advantage?
Yep.
20 total, not natural.
Ooh.
What did you say?
I said 20 total.
Perfect. All right. I would like for Karena to roll a D100.
Okay. 78.
All right. That was actually a pretty surprising one.
Oh no.
As you're wandering through the streets, you think like I think if we go through this alleyway, we'll like, I think we're in the wrong street. I think if we go through this alleyway, we'll make it a little closer to where we need to be. You start to go through one of the alleyways, it's a little dark. It's a little sketchy. There's like a dumpster nearby. You think there's going to be somebody around, and you're like on edge. Got your shield up. You have your shield unfold. And then but you don't really see anything. But what you do see is there's like what looks like a safe that like fell down from probably somewhere up high, but you can't really see where. Keep in mind, every building is a skyscraper around you. It's just like tall, dark spires everywhere. And there's just like this safe fallen kind of askew sitting there. It is closed, however.
That's strange. Probably shouldn't
That's
touch that though.
sketchy. Could have some serious moolah in it though.
Is there like some kind of like tripwire anywhere, like around it?
I can
Kind
check.
of weird. Yeah, probably should. This seems very
Although if it's investigation,
unordinary.
I'm not quite good at it, but I can try.
I can try to investigate because I'm supposed to be good at that. It's just my dice don't think I'm good at that tonight.
Did the
You're
safe
making an investigation check.
did the safe break any of the like concrete beneath it?
It didn't seem so, although it'd be hard to tell because there's a lot of trash sitting in this alley. Like, it's not like it was particularly well taken care of.
Seems pretty sus.
So you're making an investigation check. Roll an investigation check.
I would like to be clear. I'm not investigating it. I'm investigating around it.
Okay, you're investigating
I'm not
around it.
touching it.
We're looking for traps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're
you guys-
Nice.
make your. That's great. Make your check. And if
Is it
you
possible-
would like, you can describe to me exactly what you're doing as you make this check, which may save you in case there is a trap.
Can I
Okay.
actually? Can I say like Nyx is like helping her and like describing various types of traps that they might be using to be like, oh, if you're looking for a tripwire, look for this. If you're looking for a bomb, look for this. If you're looking for like this is the kind of because Nyx's investigation is bad, but she knows what kind of tricks people would use. Can like help Aether get an advantage if
That is wonderful. And not only will you have advantage on this roll, but I highly encourage anyone who is making an assist action, please describe how you're helping. That would be wonderful. Similarly, just side note, when we're fighting and things, I will let you get away with things that you might otherwise not get away with, or do fun things if you're neat and fun about how you're describing it.
Alrighty, so I'm doing what Nick says. I'm looking for like a tripwire, like maybe that's supposed to distract us and then we trip on something, or maybe there's someone hiding behind something else when we look at it, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I rolled a 22.
22. Okay. In the future, that kind of look is probably a perception check, but we'll go with investigation for now. For investigation, you kind of have to.
Higher.
Sure. Well, that even better. But like investigation is very hands-on, and you will discover different things. But you're searching through. You're taking a good look around. You don't see any tripwires. You don't see anything like that. What you don't see, however, is there isn't like any impact with the concrete. So you're guessing if it did fall there, it didn't fall from very high. Maybe somebody just like dropped it a foot as they were throwing it on the side. Maybe somebody's coming back for it. You don't really know.
Seems like this is either a trick or someone placed it here. Doesn't seem like it fell. Strange.
I can try to unlock it. Does it look pickable?
It's a combination lock. But that is certainly something you could. That is something you could try to thieves' tool. Just because it's not a lock per se doesn't mean you can't use your thieves' tools on it and do the normal thing.
Or we meet with someone that's running to be senator, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have a
You
different
never
view of
know.
these, I suppose. Is there anyone, like, have we seen anyone around this alleyway this whole time?
There's been plenty of people in and throughout the streets, but you haven't seen anybody that you would say is associated with this or otherwise.
if you guys want to cover me, Quipper, do you have any strong opinions? Any of your ghosty friends? Like, hey, yo, no.
I'm just kind of here right now, to be honest.
Speaking of which, actually, never mind. You would tell me if you did. All right, you're going to pick the lock.
Yes, sir.
Make that check. Dexterity check. Add your thieves tool proficiency.
I'm just like looking around, trying to see if there's anyone hiding behind anything or hiding above, like Spider-Man or something.
Make a perception
Oh.
check.
I got a 22.
Oof. 12.
The street looks clear. Everything in this alleyway looks clear. A bunch of people are like walking past. You see a man in a suit look over at you and turn away as if nothing happened. Clearly not something he wants to be involved in. Not any of his business. You begin to like touch the lock and you start to use the combination. You put in like a little metal, a thin metal piece to fit in so that you can properly feel the nudges inside of the combination. And as you put your ear up against the metal of the safe, the safe just begins to like one of the paintings just melts a little bit and goes, and it sticks to your head.
Next week?
And then,
Um,
let's see here. What's your AC?
16.
16 is exactly what it needed. You see as the safe door opens up and just like bites onto your arm as you see rows and rows of jagged shark-like teeth that bite onto your arm.
That's a mimic.
It is, in fact, a mimic. You will take...
Nyx is just like trying not to scream because she doesn't want to draw attention, but she's like,
You take 6 piercing damage
Uh-oh,
Okay.
uh-oh.
and
uh-oh.
8 acid damage.
Oh, no.
It's still stuck to her head, but then it twisted around and like bit onto her hand. And you can see it's just like some acid is running down her arm, burning the hair off. And has this like acrid smell. I would like for the rest of you to roll initiative.
Ooh. 15.
15, very nice. It has 12.
Oh boy.
I got 14.
I did as well.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right, Aether.
Lizzie, would you mind keeping track?
Already on it. Down here.
I guess I gotta like try to get it off of her or something. I'm just going to I want to do something that won't. I'll just do Ray of Frost cantrip with my little jar of snowflakes.
Okay. Do I need to make... Okay, it's an attack roll.
It's an attack roll. 19 to hit.
That certainly hits.
And then 2d8. That is 10 cold damage as the mimic is hit with little snowflake shurikens coming out of a jar.
Wonderful. And you can see as it hits, it just like solidifies what was like previously looked like metal, but is now kind of creaking. And you see like purplish flesh beneath it.
That voice reminded me of like a TV host that's like, and now we shall see this person do this feat. Will they do it? Who knows?
In any case, who's next?
Quipper and I. And
Okay.
my dex is 16, so I don't know if that's
Mine
higher
is
than Quipper.
17.
Oh, you're first. Go first.
No.
True. This is the part where I do something.
Oh, he froze.
Oh no. Oh, he's back.
You're back.
Yeah. I'm doing great. I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna give Lizzie a bardic inspiration. I don't know how I do that. I'll be honest. I'm just gonna do it.
Pat me on the shoulder. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, that
Rough.
that looks like
he
it
goes,
hurts. But you've been through worse. You got it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you know.
and that's what we call a yikes.
That's an ouchie, bro.
All right, and what does you do?
And then I'm gonna yeah, do one of those good old fashioned. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Slings?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
All right, so
It's gonna call 15.
to hit, that hits.
Okay. Does 14 damage.
14 damage. Okay, so you see as the like fleshy body of the part of the corner of the safe you hit with the magic stone, and it just like explodes outward in this fleshy bit, and then at like midair as it's about to go through, as if it's like some sort of non-Newtonian fluid, it just like congeals back onto the body. By the way, as best as we can, I would like to make combat as quick as possible. So if you're up, try to make a plan. So Lizzie, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna go. You know what? You know what? You know what? No, no, no. Can I want to use my bonus action to disengage.
That was a lie, by the way, because that was only one beam. The second beam does 7 damage.
Oh, okay. So you go, and as it's about to like reform, you shoot it again, and this time it just like splatters on the wall in this like purple ichor. You said it was 7 damage, so that's going to be 27. Okay. So I don't think you can disengage while something is grappled on you.
Oh, it's grappling me?
It is in fact grappling you.
Oh.
It is like
didn't know
it is
that.
straight up because it's like a gluey body, and it is straight up like attached to the side of your head.
Can I use my action to get rid of
You
the
can
grapple?
use your action to try to break from the grapple. That is a strength check.
Okay, I'll try that, and then if that succeeds, I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage.
And you have disadvantage.
On my strength check?
Yes.
Oh boy, that's fun. Fun and fresh. Okay. 13.
That is exactly what you needed. So you just like push your hands off and like get your face off, and then like slam your hands away so it separates from your hands. Okay.
And I'm just gonna be like, let's go. And use movement
Oh,
to get
so
away.
you're just running.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're what,
The
30
mimic
feet
is
out
next
there?
after me.
The mimic is next. So I'm gonna say Aether and Quipper are both probably 10 feet away, which is what is its movement? There we go. Which is within its range. So it is going to try to do a pseudopod attack as one of the corners of the safe, like where the leg is, just begins to stretch out all liquid-like and grab onto Aether's leg. Oh, that is a 13 to hit.
My AC is 14.
Okay, very nice.
With the shield.
All right, yeah, so it's coming down, you smack it, and the pseudopod like recoils back and slithers back onto the safe-like body. As you see, like eyes are popping out around the side, and its teeth are just like mashing together. That is the end of its turn.
Alright.
Aether.
I'm just gonna, I guess, start going after next, but while I run, I'm gonna throw out more snow shuriken.
Okay,
You're
make
not
your
gonna-
attack roll.
I was gonna say, are you gonna do like a disengage so that you can get out of it without getting an opportunity
Oh,
attack?
that's true.
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Well,
Yeah,
you already did
that
it.
was a bonus action.
That's true.
So yeah, I
You
can
could do
get
it
an
as, I was gonna say, you
opportunity.
could have done it as your action.
Yeah, it's fine. I already said it. That is 18 to hit. Could not
18 to hit, that hits, yeah.
Alrighty. And that is 10 damage again.
All right, you see now that its body is starting to lose form. Some of its eyes are sagging. One of them just has like an ice ninja star sticking out of its eye, and it's like blue blood pouring out. It is now considered bloodied.
That's
Does it
fast.
get an opportunity attack on me?
It does. It is going to do the pseudopod attack again because it does not want you to leave.
What's
That is
crazy?
going to be 14 to hit.
That is my AC.
Oh, then it does hit. 14
Even
with the shield?
With the shield.
Oh, okay.
That's
Before
really
it was
low.
even worse.
But I thought before it was 17 on the last game, and then I made it the shield a little bit worse.
Hold on. You could be right. Hold on. Wait a minute. I updated it on D&D Beyond and not my paper. My AC is 16. My AC
That
is 16.
that is what I thought.
Wow. Let me update
Okay, yeah.
that.
So it does not hit you. So you kind of made your armor with chemistry in mind because of your past profession. So as it hits the glass-like surface, it just kind of slides off, and the acrid stickiness has no effect.
Okay.
All right. Next, I believe is Quipper. No, wait, who is next? I'm
It's
sorry.
Quipper. It's Quipper
Okay.
and me technically at the same time. So our turns are occurring simultaneously, but Matt goes before me
Okay.
because of its dexterity.
True.
What are you doing?
Eat it
gonna
or run. I don't know.
I'm gonna cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Cause fear.
Your go-to.
It's a
All right.
good spell to have.
Saving throw, correct?
Yes. Wisdom. Saving throw.
That is 12.
That's a failure. I'm a
All right.
real spooky little guy. What can I say?
All
Right.
right. Sounds good.
Just
Then it now its eyes get wide and it starts looking back and forth between all of you, particularly you, Quipper. Nix, what are you doing?
Well,
Oh, okay.
excuse me. That's it. Actually, I'm done.
All right.
I've already disengaged and gotten far away. I'm just
You're
gonna
30 feet away.
stay. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there and be like, go. Let's just go. Leave it. And just chilling because like I don't feel like Aether's done enough damage that if she probably hits it again, it's probably gone. So since I can only fight it by getting up close, I'm just gonna chill.
Just be a cheerleader.
You got it, girl. Woot woot. Give me an A. Give me an E. Don't know how to spell Aether. Just kidding.
Cute.
All right. So, now it's its turn, correct? Or is it Aether? I wasn't paying
It's
attention.
its turn.
For a minute.
Okay. It is going to make an attack against Quipper because that is the only one within its range.
Inadvisable, but okay.
Oh
Wait
yeah,
a
of course.
second.
It has caused
Hang-
fear, so it can't
Hang
do
on.
that. It
Hang
can't do
on.
that.
Hang on. Hang on a second. Are mimics a construct?
No.
I didn't think so.
They are a monstrosity.
Well, then we're all good.
Yeah, and it can't go towards you, so I was mistaken. It begins to
I mean, it
run further,
can attack me. It just can't get closer.
and it would have to get closer to you.
Okay.
So it begins to try to run past down the alley. As it's beginning, like its little like safe legs are going, and in like a pseudopod like fashion, and it's just moving down the alley very slow, 15 feet.
Is it moving towards me?
No, down the alley. You were running out into the street, I assume.
Oh
See,
yeah, so
bro?
it's like running away.
Yeah, it is running away, and you hear like a.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's nice.
All right.
I'm just going to keep following Nyx and just dish him out as I'm running. Because I don't
Okay.
want Pepper to get it stuck to his face.
Oh, by the way, it can
16 to
repeat
hit.
the saving throw if it wants to.
It failed.
Nice.
All right. You making your attack roll?
16 to hit.
16 hits.
And that is 10 damage again. I keep
All right.
rolling variations.
It seems very damaged, but alive and currently running away.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep following Nyx. Like,
Okay.
Quipper.
All right, Quipper, your turn.
Oh well, I guess it got away. I just turn around and then take a couple steps, and then I turn around and just blam.
All
It's like
right, make your attack roll. Plural.
23.
That hits. What's your damage?
22.
That's your damage?
I put 2 balls in that sling, and I give him the old 1-2 punch.
Okay, just so you know, you have to roll 2 different attack rolls.
What?
Yeah, each beam has a different attack roll.
It does say that. But the second
What
attack roll was a 22.
Oh, yes, okay. Then yeah, both hit.
Wait, does that mean I add 4 to every individual beam as well?
That is, in fact, correct.
Oh, well then in that case, what was the first thing I said? 12?
Yeah.
Okay, well then the second one does 14.
It is dead. You
26.
fire it through, and you see as the back of the safe just, and this purple blood goes splattering over some trash in a dumpster, and it just like falls over in a kadunk.
I got him.
All right, let's not
So
touch
there's, like,
random
a ton
things
of-
in the alleyways.
But what if he's got like money in his tummy?
If you want to go check, we can.
I'm
There's
not
like-
looking.
Sirens outside my window, but they're like,
Right.
I can't tell where they are. I feel like I should see lights. They're so loud.
I'm gonna go gut that thing.
All right, you're gonna go in there. Make a quick investigation check as you're trying to dig through its purple grossness.
Can I guide myself?
Yes,
Oh, well then I do that.
you do that as you're sticking your hands in, trying to like open up its toothed maw. Like other spectral hands are just beginning to like help open it. Just kind of appearing out of nowhere. Make
Got
your investigation
10.
check.
Including the guidance.
You find it's very sticky and a lot of purple stuff.
Oh, it's Santa.
Santa's getting arrested.
I'm so sorry.
Ryan, she
there was
doesn't live
straight
in
up-
Glen Burnie. What are you talking about?
I'm so sorry. I thought there
Really
was like a
happens
big
here.
fire happening or someone was dying. because
Santa's
there's,
on
like,
fire.
No. You know how like Santa will take you around, like they'll take Santa around a neighborhood, like your mom was talking about the other night, where they take Santa around the neighborhood and he's escorted by like fire trucks and stuff.
It's a public burning.
No. He was being escorted around with fire trucks, but like there was like I counted like 6 trucks before I saw Santa, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And then I saw Santa and I realized it's just Santa's entourage.
Each reindeer has their own fire truck.
I burned a bunch of books on Thanksgiving. That was kind of fun. Books are actually really hard to burn, by the way.
They are.
But it was okay.
I'm so
'cause
sorry that I was distracted.
they were all like really old books that we were gonna throw away. But my dad was like, "Why throw them away when we can burn them?" And I was like, "I feel like that's a harder
Fahrenheit
task
462
than
of
you
you.
expect that to be." But okay. But yeah, turns out you cannot just light an entire book on fire though, because there's not enough oxygen getting in there. You gotta like.
That's why you need kerosene.
You gotta open it
That's
up.
why the firemen have that.
But yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty neat.
so there was nothing
Alright.
in the belly of the mimic.
There was that he saw, and it was just like it was very sticky. It was very purple,
I don't
and
know
there
what
was
you're
some
talking
organs
about.
in there.
I found a lot of stuff in that thing's stomach.
Ryan, I have a question.
I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
some.
Mimics,
Hmm.
do they have any fun organs I could use to make things?
Make a god. I want to say a nature check, but nature is definitely not a mimic. Make a
Arcana?
survival check, I suppose, or a
Like
medicine
it's-
check.
Like it's a monstrosity. Could that be like an Arcana check?
Yeah, an Arcana check would also work. I'm gonna say Arcana or medicine.
Oh, they're both bad. Can
Or
we go
like-
back to survival or nature?
Like insight, maybe.
No, that's not what I want
That's
insight
also
for.
awful. Nature or
Uh,
survival is great.
Nature is
about-
intelligence as well.
Yeah, but nature
I feel like
chose.
I feel
to,
like
as a beast.
survival would definitely be like the closest you would have.
Yeah,
Because
because here's the
survival is
thing. It's
kind of
also
like knowing
not
how to
something you're
make
familiar
use
with.
of a corpse.
Yeah,
Should I-
because this
should
is
do
not something you're
survival?
familiar with. So let's do survival. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like you kill a deer and you're like, oh, a stomach. What can
What
I
a
make
tough
out
one,
of
'cause-
this?
Arcana makes perfect sense, but like, so that's if you know what you're talking about. Survival works. I think survival's the next best. I think you're right.
15.
I'm actually gonna be
15.
right back. Oh, this thing is
As
dead.
you're kind of interacting with it, you can see it's like skin that it seems metallic, but then it kind of cracks into purple. When you squeeze it a little bit, have you ever seen the chromatophores of a squid or an octopus?
Yes.
How they flex in and out and they change color based on that. It does that, but it not only does it change color, it also changes texture. You do that and it turns into this like gray rocky substance. And that's kind of how its outer hide works.
Okay, so I can change colors and change how I look, but I can't change my texture, right?
You can, as a matter of fact.
I can change my texture. Okay.
You can absolutely change your texture. Because
Okay.
your skin works very similarly. But this has seems more refined. This can change its entire body. You can change your vague shape.
Okay. It'd be kind of fun to have clothes made out of this stuff. You could just morph it into whatever clothing you wanted it to be. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm.
Make your own mimic clothes.
Make your own mimic.
Build a bear.
Make
Are
a
you-
bear. Make a mimic.
So you like skinning it or are you just leaving it?
Do I get anything else from the survival check? Because I want to
No,
worry
not
about
really.
not really just the skin was the interesting part. Then I guess I'll
It's
take
got
the
some
skin.
weird eyes.
No. When you go for a mimic, you want the skin.
The other thing you notice is there isn't a lot else to a mimic. Like, as you begin to, like, I guess, skin it, you cut it with your arm claw, and it just kind of goops out in this, like, yeah, it's
Goober.
just all goop. And it just pours out, and you kind of have to, like, as you, like, flap around the skin trying to, like, disconnect it, you just see, like, bits of streaks of slime flying everywhere. And it's just the skin, some goop, and some eyes.
Delicious.
Having
Right.
fun over there, Nix?
Look what I got, just like covered in slime, like the
It's just-
Ghostbusters getting hit with ectoplasm.
And like scattered on this like pelt, I guess. There's just random teeth and eyes scattered throughout.
I'm definitely gonna need to clean that shirt now. Okay.
Yeah. Where did Matt go? Is he still
Where
here?
did Roper go? He's
His
just having
videos is-
a conversation with some ghosts in the corner. It's fine.
His
Yeah.
video is off. That's off.
All right. Well, I suppose you can figure out how to fix that before we find where Omar is.
Alright.
Funny you say that. I have no way of cleaning. So this is how we're gonna work.
Okay.
Otherwise, however, what's happening right now? Phone? Oh my god, there's so many tabs open. Then Nyx goes, you know what? I think I can take it from here. And you kind of just turn your brain on, and you're like, oh right, I should probably do things. And you start leading them throughout the city that you know pretty well. You've been in before, and while you haven't been here per se, you understand the process. You're like, Aether, the streets are numbered.
I was just letting Aether have her fun, like giving her a chance to dabble, to give it a try, and then it's like, no, okay, I got this. Like, I'll lead us now.
To be fair, aren't I literally from this district?
You've also been here. The person that has never been here.
We
I
just
was
wanted to.
talking to my mom.
We just
I'm
wanted to let her
sorry.
go. Sink or swim.
I mean, that's just honestly, that's so representative of your group.
Equipper
Nyx,
mixed
Aether is doing
collectively,
things
like,
regardless of whether
"Yeah."
she's equipped for it or not. And you guys are just
there.
vibing.
Yeah, you got it.
in any case, you begin to travel around. You start going through streets, mostly avoiding any risky areas. You can see there's all kind of sales for everything you could possibly imagine. You can see there's an advertisement for a special kind of like glasses. They almost look like Google glasses. And you see it's advertising, like it records everything that you can see, and you can refresh and look back on everything. It even has an advanced targeting system so that you can tell when projectiles are being fired at you, so you can avoid them before they are even shot. And like all and this like neat kind of like technological stuff. It's like advertised, this was like for journalists going into both studying intricate things as well as going into hostile environments, and other cool things like that. Invented by oh shoot, what is it called? Lizzie, you're the people relevant to your backstory. What are they called? The group.
Would you believe me if I told you I didn't have it written down?
I believe it's called the Simic Order.
Yes. You know what?
The Simic Order. But in any
That
case, you
sounds
begin to
about right.
travel down.
There's also something called the Sikar Syndicate, which is very similar sounding, which is confusing.
Yeah, the Sikar Syndicate is the group of criminals that run the drug organizations.
How do you spell Simic? Can you just send me Simic Order in a text message?
SIMIC Order.
Simic Order.
As in like Simeon, but Simic.
SIMIC?
Yep.
Simic Order.
Yeah, and you also see like advertisements for like electing certain officials. Usually they're really boring. You can see they're like they're for the Senate, because you know the election is coming up in the next few months, and you can see they're like ghostly bodies with somewhat dated clothes, and like kissing a baby or something like that, in their like blue spectral form.
Do we see any for Omar, or are they just all the ghost ones?
You, as a matter of fact, do not see any for Omar. You see, and the other people that are in this seem almost the same person. It's really hard for you to tell the difference between all of these like old white people ghosts that are just
That sounds way too eerily relevant to today's political landscape.
that are just like in all these advertisements, and they all kind of bleed together in your mind. You've seen plenty of these before, but advertisements seem much more common here in the Axel district. In any case, you eventually find your way to one of the smaller areas, and in this place you see there is a small wooden door at the entrance to this otherwise black iron skyscraper, just like every place else. And it has like a small little like knocker on it.
That's so cute.
I'm gonna go right up with my slimy self and just go
Do the honors.
with a knocker.
You see, as there's like this purple slime that gets on the bronze knocker, and then it just like turns the same color as the door, but you can still see clearly the texture of the like slime. Oh,
I look
hello.
at Aether and I'm like, this is gonna be fun. And I just kind of like try to collect the goo and like ball it up and just put it in my pouch.
Okay.
And you're a few moments pass, and you're kind of like waiting for a secretary or something. And I need just a second.
Doggy.
He's so big. He's a big boy.
It's so cute.
Big paws.
It's so cute. Matt, what's your dog's name again?
Augie.
Augie. I
Or
love dogs.
And then the door opens up, and you see Omar sitting there with his darker tanned skin, his black hair kind of long but short on the sides, tied back in in a similar but different teal vest that hangs over his otherwise white dress shirt. And he has this like purplish blue dress pants. And you can see he has like over his shoulder like a towel with a little bit of grease on it, like he was just cooking a few seconds ago. Oh, Oh, hello. Yes, thank you. Come in, come in, come in.
Hello.
And then he's like, kind of like look. He kind of looks at you and covered in slime, kind of make sure his shoulders out of the way as you walk in. And as you enter, you see what's for this area would be considered an upper middle class kind of home. It's still very small. It's like as he leads you through what is kind of a apartment complex. He opens to his door, which is basically like probably a 2-bedroom apartment. You can see despite the somewhat modest building, he still has a great number he has a harp sitting in the corner, as well as a record playing right now, playing the music that you're hearing. And he certainly has like a teal blue color scheme kind of going on in this house, and it looks very much like somebody really dressing up a small, modest house, because it's very pretty. It's elegant and designed, and everything is in a specific place in a very modern style. But it is small, and you can see he's like frying something on a pan in the kitchen, which is half of the living room.
This
So,
is a lovely home.
It's very
thank you very
beautiful.
much. I appreciate it. I take great pride in where I live. Um,
Sorry, I'm all slimy.
Great tide.
oh, and then he like waves his hand a little bit, and the slime like is pushed off of you like a wind is going in your face, and as it's about to like go past you onto the wall, it kind of disapparates. Um,
Oh,
I know a few magic tricks of my own. I think we can take care of that. But welcome to my home. I'm sorry I don't have a proper office right now, but I'm spending all of my money on other things. But welcome to my home. This is where we'll be doing business if it is required of us.
of
So,
course. We figured that before we dive into all of this, that we should probably get to know you a little bit since our conversation was cut short because of all the craziness back there.
and I'm glad that you did. Uh, there's a certain corruption in our society as it is today, and I am trying to run against that as best as I can, and I have been more successful than anybody that has come previously in the past 100 years. But it has been, I believe, 1,010 years since anybody other than the people that are currently in our Senate seats have been elected. So it is my hope that I will replace one of them and bring in some new opinions. But have you heard my name before?
You don't seem to have a lot of advertisements for yourself around.
I do
No.
believe what the youngins say these days is you don't have clout.
Then you've heard some of the more flattering news. What I feared was more likely that you had heard is that I am a radical, and that is true.
Thought kids liked things that were like radical, dude.
Totally
Not,
tubular.
not quite.
Isn't that the
Uh,
deal?
and it certainly depends on the circles that you're in. I and he kind of starts to like wave his hand in the air, and you can see like blue electricity start sparking between his fingers. I am of dragon descent, and I have certain connections to the realm of Jotunheim, if you're familiar.
Giants?
Man, got dragons
don't
and
think-
giants.
Dragons and giants. It's
What
sort
are
of the
Dragons and giants. And
Giants.
bears.
it's
my.
Familiar at all with that? I don't feel like I would be.
make a history check.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll make
Me
one
too.
too in a second.
Sure.
Rolled very well.
Gripper don't care about the past.
Well, it's the current. I use history
Only
to
the
include
future.
local and current knowledge.
Only the future.
History check?
I'll make a
Yes.
future check.
6.
6. I'm also gonna.
I got to 23.
You got a 23. All right, you understand Jotunheim pretty well. Jotunheim is sort of a slum, realistically. It is a kind of off branch of the city, connected to, but not within the city walls. it is a refuge for where all of the giants and dragons travel to after the fall of the world. And the collapse of the realms, it forced them all to kind of into the same space as the other races, but of course the other races called this place first, and they didn't have a lot of room. So Jotunheim is where they currently stay, and there's sort of a tenuous political relationship where it is not considered one of the districts. They are not considered citizens, and they gain no assistance from the government, nor do they operate within their laws. And while you can, it's easier to travel to Jotunheim than it is to travel outside the walls normally. It isn't necessarily free passage as it would be with the other districts. Of course, I say free. It still costs money to go from any of the districts, but it's not even supported in that way. As there's fairly and obviously concerns with having giants and dragons being a part of normal society.
Plus, you'd have to have a pretty big train
You would have to have a very big train.
for all the giants.
And the dragon
I don't think the
with
dragons would need to
Nyx's
take the train.
6, she's just like, she's heard a bedtime story about giants before. There was a
Mhm.
day name.
It is my opinion that dragons and giants of Jotunheim should, as best as we possibly can, become citizens of Cardinfall, just like the rest of us. I understand not all dragons are good, but
Neither are all giants either, are they?
no,
Neither are all people.
Wow,
I
that's fair. That's fair.
but and that's exactly the point. I think they have the choice, just like the rest of us, to be both good and evil, and they have just as much of a right to be associated with us as anybody else. And I have a certain attachment to them both because of my descent, and I spent my young life as a apprentice to a storm giant, and grew up in Jotunheim for most of my younger days.
Although honestly, I gotta ask, is Jotunheim like kind of nice? Like, do the giants like it there? Is it as bad as the city?
It is worse than the
For them.
cities. The magical guards that keep the rest of the world at bay are largely the artificial ones, besides the Sentinel Forest, are not afforded to them. And beyond that, they are being starved because none of the food resources are being allowed to them. They barely are given access to the shores, even though it is, for many of them, their natural habitat.
That's
And it's
sad.
not like it would necessarily cost us to feed them and house them, because the infrastructure to move them between districts would be difficult, but certainly manageable. And I personally think the benefits would greatly outweigh the costs. Imagine if we didn't have to have 10 other people slaving away at the scale district, and we just had a hill giant push a cart.
But then what do those
The
people do for jobs?
There are certainly jobs available in the scale district. We have no
True.
shortage.
True.
Right now, unemployment is not our problem. It's a wealth divide. We're overworking people. And I think giants and the dragons could assist in this. Dragons can shapeshift. They could much more safely navigate the bones of the scale district than any of the miners we put in that die every day. Our fishers are out there, and the many dangers that could exist in the seas there could be much more managed by a storm giant. Not to mention any of the storm giant seers that I apprenticed under could foresee events that our normal sciences could not. There's things that they can offer us that we have no access to. I mean, the Gearhold is a work of magnificence, but can you imagine if we use the legendary craftsmanship of the fire giants as well? That we already use many of their past products in what we do today, but we can't replicate it, and that is a limited resource until we start to bring them in.
It only makes sense to me.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I'm all about it. You want to help some people out. Go ahead and help them out. But there's no such thing as an entirely beneficial situation. I mean, if one giant can do the manual labor of 10 men, that also means one evil giant could cause the destruction of 10 men.
That's true.
If a
I
storm
can't argue
giant
against that.
could manage our shorelines, another one could also completely destroy them.
That's true, but I think our abilities
I
to
just feel
slay
like it's
them
a
greatly outweigh our ability to
just feel like it's a taller task than you're making it out to be.
maybe, but I'm willing to be put up to that task, and no one else is.
Okay. If you
And
say so, then
it's not just the ones
I
that we don't know
shall listen
about
so.
are it's not just the ones that we don't know about that are capable of the most damage, you know? I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff going on here, and
Well, that's
we
true.
seem to
I'm
know
just
a lot.
saying, I've been through a lot of bad shit. I don't want to make it any worse than it already is either.
But what
And
if we made it better, though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not against it. I'm just advising a little bit of caution. I wouldn't be so gung ho about it. Like, you know.
the sympathy towards these other beings is limited in the city, and I can't entirely blame people. I was born into special circumstances where I'm given both privilege and perspective. But there's another benefit.
I'm not saying I'm
These
unsympathetic.
the
I'm
Senate
sympathetic.
that supposedly rules our city uh, is abundantly powerful. And it's been the same people for a very, very long time, and I fear they do not properly represent the people regardless. I think I could do a better job, and regardless of whether I can't, if I win, I can prove to people that others can too. And we can have a future in the city that isn't just them, that isn't going to be these semi-immortal dictators, elected dictators.
Ryan, can I do an insight check on him?
Absolutely.
My insight is terrible, but Nyx is genuinely
Oh,
untrustworthy of.
what are you trying to find out? What are you
I
trying
want
to
to
read?
see if he's trying to manipulate us. Maybe not lie, but like a manipulation, just like some truths, some maybes.
Like
You
he's not
know?
telling us everything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like he's not telling us everything, or he's trying to paint a picture that isn't. You know what I mean?
I mean, it do sound like he's painting a picture prettier than the paints.
14.
14. Um, he's clearly passionate about what he's saying. He doesn't strike you as someone who's lying through his teeth. Um, you also don't know that he's telling you the whole picture, but you don't know that he even sees the whole picture. Like that's just like outside of your realm of whether he's lying or being deceitful or just wrong.
Okay.
He just seems he definitely cares. You can tell that, and that's about the extent.
Should we expect to, I guess, run into anyone that might be on your side? Or
Oh,
that you know of? Like, do you have any other people that you've talked to about this?
I have my supporters. Don't get me wrong. What I believe is public knowledge, and that is what I'm running on. I am not running under deceit. Um, so I can't say, but you will hopefully find people out. I don't really have any major supporters. Certainly, there are some who support and deny me, even in Jotunheim.
What made you think that we were going to help you? Just out of curiosity, we already are, but
Because one of the other things I would like to do, and while I don't fully understand how to do it yet, I would like to start to reform our prison system. And I know that you are both people who have been inside of it, suffered from it, and escaped. You have a certain perspective that I thought might be useful to me, and while you don't necessarily align with my other beliefs, I figured if I was gonna get somebody, you were a better chance than most others.
I mean, I had a pretty good time in jail, but that might just be evidence of the corruption.
I also,
Who knows?
throughout my exploits, have managed to hear some things and have ears over the city. I know that some of you have connections with some of the corruption in the city, and I thought maybe you would be enthused to go after it.
just looking at Clipper's face.
Don't know who
So you've told us what you want and what you are going to do. I guess it would be important to know what you're against.
I'm against. Well, I try not to run on those kinds of ideas. What I'm against, I like to run on what I'm for, but I don't like how our systems are set up. I don't think that the rich people should be able to pay their way out of prison or any other crime. I don't think that we should be entirely running on the flesh fields to be feeding our masses. We need to have other systems available to distribute the wealth from the top and lower district. I don't believe in the separate. How many of you have been to the top districts?
Definitely not me.
Only an economic, but also a legal barrier stopping you from crossing that border. I don't think that should be allowed. I feel like we should taking apart these both physical and figurative barriers. That is what I'm against. And there's quite a political barrier between the Sanctorum district and this one, and to be honest, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm hoping once I run, maybe somebody with better, brighter ideas can.
So, if you're originally from Jotunheim or Jotunheim, I'm gonna say Jotunheim because that's just habit for me. I'm
It
sorry.
is Jotunheim.
Jotunheim. Okay, good. I thought you pronounced the J at one point, and it's like my brain doesn't know how to do that. So if you're from Jotunheim, why are you in the Axel district? Like, is it because you can't be represented in Jotunheim?
It was because I first couldn't be represented in Jotunheim. I had to pay my way through citizenship by working in the flesh fields. I think I was started when I was 16, finished when I was about 23. Worked in the flesh fields for a long time. Brief stint in the bone mines before I was promptly kicked out because I was not ready for those dangers. And then once I paid through my citizenship, I started exploring. I've went to the Sanctorum district briefly before I was exiled. And then I was for not having the money, of course, because I went over illegally. And then I went back to the Axel district, which makes up what I feel to be the blood of this city, the thing that really keeps it going. And I felt like something was wrong, and perhaps there was something I could do with it. And with some charisma, wits, I've gotten to where I am now.
Well, I think this only furthers our, I guess, quest to help you, because I don't see any issues here. Next, what were you saying?
Well, I want to know exactly what you want us to do and how you perceive us being able to do it and how we are going to be financially compensated for said work because it is not cheap to look this good.
Understood. I can't say how much I can pay you. In fact, I'm not even sure what I want you to do. This is very under the table. I would very much like for you to be involved in rooting out some of this corruption, and I will do the very best that I can to distribute some of these campaign funds to your compensation.
I'm confused. Is this
Mhm.
not the same guy that told us that he would pay us $10,000 for every criminal leader we eliminate?
That is the person, but I didn't know that I gave a certain amount of money. Nobody else remembered.
Oh,
yeah,
really? Oh, no, he
Yeah.
very specifically said that for
He did do that.
every leader of that one other crime syndicate, Lizzie said, that we eliminate, he'll give us 10,000 gold.
Yes, and I think I did say that, but I'm gonna lightly retcon that
Wasn't paying
just
attention.
because
I would have told you
giving.
guys that forever ago.
No, that's fine because giving specific money amounts for what might be 5 levels later feels like a commitment I don't want to stick to. So I'm just gonna lean
Also-
off that. But he
also
does
Ryan.
certainly want you, if you can, to eliminate members of the Sakaar Syndicate.
Also, Ryan, your camera's frozen.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
So
I like how your dog is joining us, Matt.
You know
It makes
why?
me
It's because I
very
have.
happy.
It's because I wait. My dad made chicken wings, and now I have chicken wings on my desk, and that's what he's looking at. See, watch this.
That was so cute. Oh, I love dogs. Dogs are so good.
Ooh,
Soap's butt
ooh.
is still floating.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. What's up, dude?
Soap looks so sad.
All right. Well, I don't
So,
have any more questions.
if I recall well, in our previous conversation when you visited our my friend's humble abode, you want us to dismantle the Tao that run this district?
The lower district, specifically the Axel district, is run in particular by a Dao, meaning an Earth Genie, if you're less familiar. That's a high task. The I don't expect you necessarily to overturn an entire syndicate, but as best as you can, hamper their abilities to operate or eliminate who you can. This is not something I can ask you to do legally, especially not as a senator. But I would hope that we can keep this on the down low and perhaps we can root out some corruption I would not otherwise be able to. And I will compensate you fairly.
Do you know where we can start looking at a way to help you? Because at the moment, I'm usually used to like alley level shenanigans. I don't know if I'm quite unsure how to do governmental shenanigans.
Maybe good places to ask around, or places we might overhear things to help.
I don't know. I know that this syndicate, this is part of the syndicate, works primarily subterranean, as you would expect. I think, now I'm not sure about the number, but I believe the Dao in particular has 6 sons that are sort of his lieutenants and run the lower parts of the city. And I don't know where you would find them, but I think they're the trail to follow.
It's a lot of
Because
sons.
it is a lot of sons from different mothers. But I would hope that you could do what you can, even if you could just get rid of a few sons or hamper their abilities or their distribution. I just worry about the effect. Do what you can. I'll compensate you as best as you can. Keep in touch. And if you would like, tomorrow I can't take you to Jotunheim, but I can show you Jotunheim. You can stay the night here if you would like.
Oh wow.
I only have one other room.
We can share. It's
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
sleepover party.
Oh. Ripper, what do you think?
I thought you said Jotunheim sucked.
It does suck. And that's what I would like to show you.
I feel like having a frame of reference would be good.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he's cooking feels really good. So I mean, I don't want to burn.
I have to ask real quick. Is this yours? And I point to the harp.
It is. I can play.
Oh no.
This
I just nailed Old Bay.
one of the many benefits of growing up among giants is their artistry.
I'm just like looking at it. It's so pretty.
You can see that it looks like it's made out of like a mixture of some wood and some metals combining pretty elegantly, but you can see there are mistakes and hand markings, and you pretty quickly notice this was definitely handcrafted.
I'm just like taking mental notes. Like, how do I make this? This is so pretty.
Nyx having no impulse control is just like strumming one chord like dun dun dun
Ding,
dun,
ding.
dun
Yeah.
and staring and just like
And as he's been talking a little bit, he's been cooking and frying up what appears to be fish. The fish, as you might expect, have a couple extra eyes, fins, you know. But he then begins to pass it out with this fried. It's spiced. And, you can eat some if you would like.
I'll have some.
crunchy munchity.
He was making it before we came in, so I trust him.
Yeah. He clearly started making more as you guys entered.
I have been waiting for you. Here's some poison fish. Sorry, I'm just reading. I don't feel like I could ever have a desk big enough for everything that I have here.
You guys, if you don't, the night is yours. He shows you a small room with a similar color scheme with like clearly a guest bed that has not been slept in for quite a long time. He has to dust something off real quick. Yeah.
Just so you know, everyone's cameras just froze because my internet chopped out again. And none of them are flattering, so I'd refresh it if I were you guys.
Did that work?
Yeah, no, you're all perfect now. But it was so funny.
Okay.
All three of you were frozen in some different form of you, like with your mouth slightly open, like just like eyes half closed. It was great. I don't know how it happened, but it did. It was good. Nice.
I think they're closed or they're not, or they are closed still.
I mean, my
Alright.
internet is better, but it is still cutting out sometimes.
I want to ask Omar,
Corona, you're frozen again, by the way.
can so you had some sparky fingers.
Mm,
Can you do any other tricks? Because I can do a few tricks.
I can do some tricks. What would you like to see?
I don't know. Anything? Something cool. Impress
I'll
me.
show you something cool. He steps to the center of his living room. He like looks around, looking to see if he has enough space, and he just begins to arch his back a little bit. And then you just see like electricity starts sparking off of his body and starts spreading out. And you can see as these like as it like sparks out into this like lightning with like almost distant sounds of thunder, and this blue sparks start to form blue wings that elongate over his back. And as the electricity kind of like has a blinding light and travels throughout the shape of the wings, it materializes into these blue scale dragon wings. And then just like it like you can almost feel the wind go around the apartment, and the strings on the harp across the room begin to just vibrate at a frequency.
Wow. Get to do that much anymore, huh?
No, I don't. It's nice to stretch them. This is one of the advantages of draconic descent.
I can imagine. Wings are fun.
They are indeed. And then he kind of retracts them in a similar essence. They almost just kind of like disappear in a flash, and you can see as the arcing skeleton of electricity begins to recede, like slow motion lightning.
Either you should show him your wings. You should see hers. Hers are
I
really
mean,
good.
they're out like all the time.
She made these. Do you see these? She made
I
these.
can see them.
That's pretty awesome.
I made most of them.
Mm.
I'll just like, boop, just be like,
The like light reflecting off of it across the room.
Does an
I like
awkward
that.
circle. Ding, ding, ding.
Knocks over a lamp or something, and he like catches it and puts it back. All right. Well, I think I have to take a night's rest.
right.
Feel free to stay up as long as you want. Please don't touch anything in the kitchen. I've got a system.
Next.
Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep. See you in the morning.
Of course. All right. So we should probably go to that other room then, because I don't want to be, I don't want to give Nyx more time to think about how she's going to go through the cabinets. So we should probably just go somewhere where there aren't cabinets. And I go into
Like you get like a harness, like a kindergarten leash.
like a baby leash with the backpack.
Just for
You know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I forgot the timing on this a little bit. You did not spend all day traveling through the Axel district. And you left in the morning, so it's like noon at the
okay.
latest.
I was
So
gonna
I
say,
shouldn't.
that's so
The timing
weird.
on this is all wrong. So you guys do not need a place to stay. In fact, I can show you the Jotunheim now if you would like. It's just a couple hour trip by public transit. I'll pay your way.
He's just trying to get us to sleep at his house.
Field trip. He just wanted
Yeah.
to sleep in his house. Maybe
Can I
just
so
help
keep
he-
you, bro?
lonely, keep us with friends.
What?
Lonely.
Come here. You want up? Come here. You asked for it. Come here.
So you
Nope.
see as this like Warforged goes coming by and like puts some stuff in the mailbox outside, and then walks away. You get onto what is like a bus, not like the mass transit. It's much more simple, and it goes on rails in the center of the street. And you start to get pulled by it as he pays your way onto the bus. Eventually, after probably 30 minutes, you find your way to the edge of the city with the massive plated steel walls. This is probably as close as some of you have come to the walls, and they are massive. I mean, hundreds of feet tall. And
Almost
he
as big as your mom. What? No, I'm kidding. That's terrible. It's not even funny.
I don't have a mom,
I
so
thought it
that's
was funny, though.
insensitive.
So,
he begins to walk you over. He looks over his shoulder real quick, and he goes, "I need everyone to come a little bit closer, really quick."
best
And
part
then
is,
he just runs his hand along all of your shoulders, and then all of you get the same like arcing sensation as electricity jolts throughout your body, and begins to go into your back and create wings just like his. But they don't like solidify into the draconic wings like his. They just remain these like arcing electricity wings that kind of sputter in and out of existence. And he goes, "It helps if you think up." And he just blasts off into the sky.
Nyx is just like,
Just like, all right, I've done this before.
As he casts Twin Spell Fly,
we
because he is a
this
sorcerer.
man's is just
Wow.
Uh, you blast off to the top of the walls should you choose to. And as you get to the top of the wall, there's some slight overgrowing of these massive vines that you saw earlier. And when you get up to the top for the first time for many of you, you see the sky. And it is like this like glowing like gold and purple and swirls, almost like the Van Gogh painting of the sky, but with a Starry Nights, but with like massive swirling colors of greens and blues, but mostly it is this like bright golden color that's almost hard to look at first. And across that, you can see just massive forests of these gigantic trees with like all kinds of flowers of different color growing on these trees. And like sort of like different kinds of wildlife. Like you see different like primates, like a monkey, flipping through vines. Then it turns and looks at you, and half of its face looks like that of a half orc or something like that, and kind of like a gorish display. And then it, as it sees you, it skitters off. And like its tail, as it's wrapping around a vine, you see it's like a scorpion. It's kind of horrible, beautiful but horrible. And then looking across onto the other side, you see massive sets of wooden ramshackle stone into these like walled semi-district that is in fact massive, but kind of small in comparison to the size of Cardinfall itself. And this appears to be Jotunheim. As you see, there are massive buildings with massive people and dragons moving throughout the streets. It is clumsy, it is cramped, and it's not beautiful.
How come the dragons don't just fly somewhere else?
Because the skies have become dangerous. You saw that monkey?
Like we're
That's what
currently.
happens. There's a certain aura around the outside of Cardinfall that protects us, at least for the time being, both provided by the Sentinel, by the Dawn Emissary. But the skies and traveling too far becomes dangerous. You'll mutate and be affected by the Fey magics that have entrenched our skies.
True.
And after all, where would they fly to anyway? to the city where they would be shot down immediately.
I mean,
They do not rule like they used to. They cannot. Our skies are more guarded than they could ever be.
What's
How long do you
that?
think it'll take, for things to change, for them
Oh,
to
that
be allowed back?
them? Oh, it could take centuries, quite honest with you. For laws to change, hopefully a few decades. For people to change, I don't know.
I guess we can only stay hopeful.
Something else you should know. Dragons are quite capable of disguising themselves. The city tries to keep their eyes on things like that, especially through transits from Jotunheim to here, but they slip through. There's a fair chance one of you have met a dragon in your time.
Definitely met a few snakes, if you know what I mean.
how do you know I'm not a dragon in disguise?
Why would you disguise yourself as something so small and sad?
It's
And you died.
unintimidating.
If you're going to blend in, I wouldn't suggest being so ostentatious.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
I'm literally
Oh.
pink.
And you do not blend in. I found you after all.
I don't think any of us blend in that well.
I did impersonate a deity on the roof of his own church, so
Didn't go very well, though.
I
Well,
thought it went great. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a fun time, Acre. It was great. It was a joy.
It's been a great time.
let's not relive it.
Ryan's been
This is
frozen for
beautiful,
like 5
though.
minutes, but I just didn't feel like saying anything.
So what do we do now?
At a certain point, it just starts to be not worth it.
Well, that's up to you. I just wanted to see what you're defending. These are my people, and he looks down at them in the like cramped streets where dragons are like shoulder to shoulder with giants. Both of them clearly disgruntled. You can see an older giant with blue skin, and it's kind of hard to see them, but luckily they're so big, and this like long white beard staring into like what appears to be a giant orb that's this big in his hands. And he looks and he has a mournful look as he looks into the sky.
They definitely deserve better.
I would hope so. Big people, they need a lot of food, and we have the food to give them. We just choose not to.
Well, I think we can change things.
I'm glad.
We just gotta find a starting spot, right? And I mean, we have to find the 6 of them, probably. Said they probably work underground, right? Well, we've been in the sewers. There's gotta be more.
Perhaps.
Could
Now,
give
did
it
you
a
mean
shot.
like the literal underground or like the metaphorical underground?
Like
Yes,
the
that's
black
important.
markets.
Both, I imagine.
D&D, where the underground world is literally the underground world. Ugh, I ate too much food and now my belly hurts.
While it has been a pleasure meeting you and staring at the site, we don't have that long. My spell only lasts for so long, and you're going to have quite a long climb. So let's get down, shall we?
Nyx does a few loop-de-loops before she comes back down.
Okay.
I wonder if I were to make myself wings, if I could like hover. Wouldn't that be cool?
You know, if the dragons could disguise themselves, why don't they turn into something smaller if space is such an issue?
Because it must be uncomfortable being what you
It's
aren't.
less about necessity and more about pride. You're asking something like a dragon to pretend to be a beetle.
Not asking
And
them to
sure,
pretend.
some
I'm
of them
asking
can
them to
do it.
like, put function over form for a minute. I don't know. Just
Oh,
only
plenty of people put function over
just a
form, but
hypothetical.
Quipper, I literally chose to look like this. Like,
That's on you. Good job.
don't want to look like anything else. So dragons, who are ancient beings of great power and wisdom, are not going to want to change how they look for the convenience of others.
I'm not saying it's for the convenience of others. I'm saying it's for their own personal convenience. If they live in such crammed conditions, I'm just
And
saying, like, look, I got nothing against them. Look, I'm all about helping them. Let's help them out. I'm just saying, if you live in a small space and you're so wise, I would think you'd make yourself small to fit the space.
also, I love dragons quite a lot. Don't get me wrong, but wise is not necessarily a term I would use for them with such a broad brush. Beyond that, it's only so long you can pretend to be something you're not before you forget who you are.
That's deep.
Oh,
And
I mean, he has a point.
I would expect some people who alter their form daily to understand that.
Hits her right in the feels. I point at Nyx,
Yeah,
not my
yeah.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's head back then.
Sounds great. I actually have some business to attend to, so I'm
Can I
going to have to
help
go a
you?
different way than you. But
All right.
have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
All right, friends.
I didn't even train him to do that. He just did it. That was great. Do it again. Ah, got him. Oh, he did it again. That's
Good
great.
dog.
I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
All right. So,
He did it so fast that time.
that's so cute.
I'm having a blast.
So,
He's
where
such
should
a
we go
good
now?
boy. Oh,
Should
he's
we-
a good boy.
I guess we could hang around and see if people are talking about anything that might be interesting to us, or go right to the sewers. I don't know where to start.
Brian, I forgot to ask this. How old is Omar?
That's kind of a funny thing. You know that he said he got his citizenship when he was about 23, I think I said, and he spent a lot of time traveling around throughout the city. Then he built up a whole career as a politician and got enough money. His age looks hard to read. He looks young. He looks like probably older 30s, but his story doesn't quite add up with that age group, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Stand up. Come on.
So, anyone got any bright ideas that won't get us killed immediately?
I need to write my brain. Sometimes I get a little crazy.
What did I say? I felt like I was fine.
No, you were fine. You were
Okay.
fine. You were fine.
I was
You
looking
did
for a
nothing
Laura
wrong.
Bailey like mistake. I was like,
You didn't make a Laura Bailey mistake. I just made a Laura Bailey stretch. You know what I mean? It's fine. Don't worry
like,
about it.
where did it happen? I'm trying.
No, you're fine. It's just
Anyway,
I don't want to ruin this the I don't know, the whatever of our stream or of our recording, but it's fine.
we can fix it. In
Um,
post.
We can fix it in post.
As if.
No,
So
it's just not gonna happen.
what are you doing? Day's yours. It's like 2 in the afternoon.
So, if most of what we need to do is in the actual district, should we like get a place to stay?
You mean a base of operations?
I
Yeah,
suppose.
sure.
Ryan, isn't that... Wait, okay, hold on. I need to confirm this now. The Axel District is, in fact, my hometown, correct?
It is where you've spent most of your life.
I bet I could figure something out.
You could,
If you
although I
can't,
should also
can.
remind you, the Axel District is a fine place to be. But it was never specified that what you're doing is in the Axel District.
I
You would
thought
know
it
the
was.
Takar Syndicate is the entire lower districts.
Oh, I thought the Dow specifically was for the Axel district.
Nope. It is the entire lower districts. That
Oh,
includes
makes
Earhold, Axel
a lot
District,
harder.
the scale district.
Well, then in that case, I think we should start at home and then
Yeah.
kind of branch
Branch
out
out?
from there.
That works. We can get a sort of game plan.
Yeah, and I mean, we know the area better, so I think it's safer. We can just not ask around, but listen around, I guess.
I could.
That's true.
I'm pretty
So
good
back
at
home.
hearing things I'm not supposed to listen to.
Don't you also know ghosts now?
Silence.
Well, you know.
It's like, did my audio cut out?
No, I did actually just I froze in real life.
Sorry.
You know. Yeah, I mean they're there.
Can you ask them for help?
I don't really like initiating that conversation, but I guess I can.
I mean, you don't have to. I can
No,
go wander around.
I'll do it. It's okay.
Are you okay after all that? You
Yeah,
know?
no, I'm fine. I figure if I don't respond, then maybe they'll get bored after a while. So I've tried just to not respond at this point, but you know, sometimes it's fun. There's this one old lady in there that always talks about the fruit stand she used to run with her daughter. She sounds really friendly.
All right. Well, back home, I suppose. To reconvene.
All right, you travel back. Which costs you another 5 copper.
I actually have no money.
The only problem is she keeps asking me if I want to buy fruit, and I don't think she knows that the fruit's not there anymore.
That's a little sad, huh?
It is a little sad. I don't like it when she asks because I have to say no, and then she gets sad, and then I get sad.
Um, it's so sad because all of these people you know specifically met the tragic end of being assassinated by the Night Hag. Like none of these people were like lived a happy life and then died in their bed. They were all assassinated
That's so sad.
by their nightmares in a
That-
dream.
That explains the one guy that won't stop screaming.
Wait. Should we? I don't know if we should ask directly, but Celia always talks about her birds knowing a lot of stuff. Maybe it's another option. If we can't figure anything out on our own, I suppose.
That's fair.
Did you just T-pose?
No,
Ryan, did you see my text
Oh.
message?
no.
I couldn't see the elbow down, so to me it just looked like you were doing that. But you were. Can I help you? I can't give you this. There's chicken bones in it, dude.
I respect that a lot, Lizzie.
Here, do you want? Where's your bone?
Dang it.
All right.
It
So you
still
go
stands
back.
regardless.
You go back to the Chain Whistle store. Is there anything you would like to do there before you do whatever?
I feel like I had something I wanted to do and now I can't remember. Let me get a D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond. I guess talk amongst yourselves if you want to. I'm just looking on D&D Beyond.
I'm always talking amongst myself. Don't worry about it.
It's true. It's true.
It's funny because when we started this, started today, and I was doing like my dancing, I had the D&D Beyond song stuck in my head.
You got your perfect, or you had your perfect
But-
warlock.
It was just the D&D Beyond part over and over again.
So
Except we don't
Matt,
play that anymore.
don't you have to use an action ahead of time to listen to a story before you store it for later?
I don't think so. I think it is that I have to I have to use an action. No, I use a bonus action to consume story and store story for later. And then I have to use an action to retell the story or like use the use of the story.
Does it benefit you to do it like ahead of time?
In the sense that like I'll know what the bonus is before, like in advance. Like yeah,
Yeah. And then you don't have to use a bonus action to do it.
Yeah.
If that's relevant.
yeah. I mean that's yeah, that is true. It would be relatively beneficial to just kind of like have one stored at all times. Just because like it doesn't really hurt at all.
Because that was what I understood the usefulness of this subclass to be. So if you do that, tell me and also roleplay it. Another reason I'm taking a pause here is because we should probably take a break.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. I was looking for the
It's only been 2 hours.
repulsion shield infusion, and I finally found it.
Very nice. Are you gonna actually put in your infusions now?
Yeah, well, I have one technically. I don't remember what it's on, but it says that I have something. I think it's the paintball gun that I did something
With
to.
repeated shot?
Yes. So repulsion shield 6th level. Yes, we're level 6, right?
Yes, you are.
Awesome. Okay. So break time then.
Break time.
Dope, dope.
Great time to pause the recording.